Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, at whatever point in time you are joining us for this live presentation, or if you're catching the replay, thanks for joining us today. This is John Terry with Vision Advisors, and I'm so glad you've taken some time out. We want to take you on a journey today, and I say that tongue-in-cheek because we want to introduce a new product today, one we at Vision are very excited about. We got a sneak peek at this at an IMO meeting a while back and had an opportunity to kind of take a look under the hood at the engine, and really excited about the opportunities that this unique solution with a powerful, strong 96 Comdex rated carrier, that is a huge feather in your cap to be able to talk about one of the strongest players in the financial services industry bringing a very unique product solution to the marketplace. And one thing I like about this product, and I may steal a little bit of James's thunder on the front end, and that's okay, but this is one unique product that can work in three distinct marketplaces. And James is going to touch on that a little bit today as he has an opportunity to go through. But there's kind of three unique avenues that you can have this journey. So think about it as you're walking your clients down the road to retirement and they get to the fork of the road. There's three different ways they can go, still have an opportunity to use one financial product solution to see success, and that's JourneyMark. So with that, I want to introduce, many of you already know, our good friend James Marco from Legacy Marketing Group. So excited to have James with us, and I know he is just chomping at the bits. He's been blowing my phone up and my email up saying he can't wait to have an opportunity to participate today. And James, I'm going to stop talking, and as we've got other producers coming in, I'm going to invite them to come on into the room. But I'm going to let you get started having a conversation about this brand new fixed indexed annuity solution, JourneyMark.
Well, thank you. That's a great intro, John. I appreciate that. Yes, folks, we released a new product at Legacy with a new carrier partner. We'll review. I think there's three distinct markets or opportunities. We may only have time to touch on two and need another call to do the third one. But we're very excited to have our new carrier partner, Integrity Life Insurance Company, member of Western and Southern Financial Group. So there's a story behind them. I think now more than ever, John touched on it. Carrier ratings have always mattered, but they may matter more now than ever to maybe you or to your client. They have the highest rating for any company who sells index or sells fixed index annuities in the independent channel with a 96 Comdex that John mentioned. So we'll circle back to them real quick, but I want to show you what we'll cover today. JourneyMark, it's a brand new product, highly rated carrier, but it's really three faces or three products in one. One product, three distinct markets, countless opportunities. So I just want to show you this real quick. We want to touch today on the accumulation focused base product. This is no rider charges, no fees, very straightforward. It's available through age 90. Got a special version I'll tell you more about, but straightforward, keep it simple, straightforward accumulation focus with no fees. And I do want to spend some time today on this liquidity focus. We have a Cascade, a rider that offers a return of premium, offers an extra layer of guarantee, a bonus. Let me ask you this. Do clients like annuity products with premium bonus? Do they like bonus products? Do clients like guarantees? Do they like upside? Do they like highly rated carriers? Well, you're gonna like this version with the Cascade Rider. And if we have time, we may have to break into, we have a whole different solution here. JourneyMark with the Expanse Rider, it's performance-driven income. We'll touch on it quickly, but all these products are Legacy's new carrier partner. It matters to some people more than others, but now more than ever, Western and Southern, pardon me there. Let me get rid of this real quick.
Hey, James, you are breaking up a little bit, so I'm going to turn my camera off, let you do the same. Maybe that'll help with some bandwidth issues as well. Yep.
Okay, let's do that.
All right, very good, sir.
I'll be right back with that. I'm going to stop video. Okay, hopefully I'm a little loud and clear. You still hear me, John?
There you go, much better, thank you. Yep.
Okay. All right. Not to be Captain Obvious, this is a great product for your clients. You might see the comp down here. I mean, to put it simply, 7 1/4 street comp on a 96 Comdex. Let's explore this. And I want to mention a couple other things. Western and Southern, the parent company, they allow dual contracting. For whatever reason, let's say you had a SPIA from years ago through there, that's okay. You got to come through Vision Advisors. This is an exclusive legacy product. They allow dual contracting. You probably want to come aboard Vision because they have our products and my best competitors out there. So call Vision, make sure we want to get you aboard. This is an exclusive product and it's only through Vision you can come aboard and get it. So with that, let's review some of the nuts and bolts. This being the big one is the carrier. Here's a quick story for you. You see this date, 1888? It's about 30 years prior to the Spanish flu, that last pandemic in 1918. And you can tell your client this: have confidence, hang your hat on the longevity and the security of the carrier. This company's been around the block. This ain't their first rodeo. They've been through pandemics. They've been through a couple of world wars, and here we are today. So financial strength ratings among the highest. They have the highest rating with that 96 Comdex for any carrier who sells annuities in the independent channel. You're asking, well, who's got 100 Comdex? Well, New York Life, fully captive groups, they're out there, but this is what you're looking for. It's all good news, and it really does solidify, I think, the sale, having that 96 Comdex. So a great product, a great rated carrier. So let's dive a little bit more into what I teased you earlier. We have a base product. We're going to touch on that first. This, in my opinion, is going to appeal to a lot of clients because they like bonuses, they like guarantees, and they like liquidity. Time pending, this is a robust, full-blown income-focused solution with an income booster or doubler. I have that available in every state, including my own in California. Got it in Texas. I got it everywhere except for New York. If we have time pending, we may just touch briefly upon this robust solution. It kind of needs its own call. So with that, let me plug forward here. On the right, you see we have a 10-year, a 7-year, and a 5-year chassis of the product. Each of these has the available riders through age 80. And if you notice down at the bottom, you have to be 86 to 90 to get the 5-year. So it's really a 7 or 10-year chassis. The older folks get a special deal. Ask your clients about their parents. You know, you're going to get some good information on their longevity, or, oh, they're still around. And if they haven't turned 91 yet, here's a niche for you right there. You got a product through age 90, and the base product or the riders are available through age 80, I should say. This is the income rider and the liquidity rider. So reviewing that, they all have built-in waivers. All the commissions are the same, whether you do the base product or with the riders. It's all the same rates and caps in every state. For those who work in multiple states, that's a bit of convenience. It's all the same product basically across the board. We can take up to 1.5 million through 75 and $1 million max for the older group. And that, of course, it is an index annuity, so I'll just show you the strategies. We're not going to dive deep into those today. We just want to kind of do high level. Here's good news that might resonate more with others. I have it in every state except for New York. Forget about it. But I also have it in District of Columbia. But I have my income rider version in California, Florida, Texas. I have it in all its glory in these states. So an ease of doing business if you work a bit more nationally. I just want to mention, here's a couple strategies you want to look at with Vision. Maybe run an illustration. I'm not going to get into that level of granular detail today, but a couple things that stand out. Name recognizable names, Citi and Goldman Sachs. We have a 15% volatility target. We have a 5% volatility target. So a couple of different flavors. They're all participation rate and no cap. We have a S&P index, the old traditional and familiar. So my message here is we have what you might be looking for. Traditional index uncapped, 5% volatility, more steady Freddy, or this one has a higher volatility target, could offer a little bit more upside. They're all participation rate with no cap on indexes. And I'm not going to get too deep. We have the illustration live now. You can call Vision for that, run it on legacynet.com. Got some good strategies for a good product. I mentioned this earlier, 7.25 comp on 96 Comdex. That is a standout, but I do want to mention, hey, older ages, we got 5 through age 85, not too shabby. Some people prefer a shorter chassis. Here's our 7-year version and the associated comp. Not too bad on a 7-year. And this commission isn't very strong. It's about what you'd find on a MIGA for an 86 to 90-year-old, but 1.5 is better than nothing. The client gets a pretty good deal. They're getting 10-year pricing on the special 5-year chassis, so they're making out well, and there's some market share. Make a sale with an older client. A lot of them have children. You can expand your reach there. So commission is strong, carrier is strong. Let's talk about the product. As I go into there, John, any chime-ins before I talked about the base product right now?
No, I think we're good at the moment, James. Thank you.
Moving right along, accumulation focus. This might be your kind of jam. No fees, great carrier, got it through 90 on a special 5-year chassis. If they're age 85, they'll get the 10-year. It's based on age alone. Has 5% withdrawal penalty free after the first year, so a little bit of liquidity. Does have a lot of strong bailouts, emergency exits for health-related concerns. So the base product is just as straightforward as it gets. And I want to touch on this version, the Cascade Rider. It's just like the base product, but it's got a little bit more sizzle, adds liquidity. So let's dive into this one because there's a couple more moving parts, but they're all parts they like. I mentioned before, do clients like extra liquidity, enhanced guarantees? Do they like bonus products? Well, it's checking all the boxes. It's a yes across the board. The 10-year version has a 6.5 premium bonus. There's a 7-year version with the Cascade Rider, no bonus on the 7-year. You might want to focus here a little bit more on the 10-year, unless the client takes it to the 7-year. Well, they miss out on the bonus, but they get a shorter product. So it's on the 10-year product only. It's a 9-year vesting schedule in California. It vests evenly. It's very straightforward. Vest evenly across the 10 years or 9 years in California. And it adds this additional liquidity. One is it ups it to 10% after the first year. If your client needs to take required minimum distributions, that is penalty free to the client right out of the gate, but 10% after year 1. There's a 1% charge for this rider. We have a bonus to help pay for that, but it only applies during the withdrawal period, because after the 9 or the 10 or the 7 years, once you're through the surrender schedule, you're liquid. You don't need extra liquidity. So it's only during the withdrawal charge period. A lot of people look at that bonus and the earnings potential to help pay for it, and then it drops off after that. So it's 1% fee. On the 10-year, it's only 0.35, and even though you don't get the bonus on the 7-year, you miss that. You get more liquidity, and of course, what might be very important to somebody wanting a shorter product in the first place are these extra safety nets, return of premium, flexibility for changing needs. We live in such an uncertain world. The best thing you can do is insure your money with the highest rated carrier. We're looking at it. Oh, Rock, that's the way to go. But things change, and we understand that. So clients love this. For clients who may have changing needs, or there's the magic word fear. That's what we're really talking about, of course, is, fear something else could be better, or fear they can't get to their money. We're talking fear. Well, we can put all those fears at ease for locking up their money for funds too long, even though they haven't touched this money in 30 years. What if, right? Well, what if anything available anytime after the 3rd index year for any reason, just give me my money back. As simple as that. You get your return of premium, whatever their deposit is. They don't get the bonus. There's no fees. It's as clean as clear. You put $100,000 in, and 3 years later, you just want your money back for any reason, give me my $100,000 back. There's no penalties. There's no market value adjustment, nothing extra to explain. Clean and easy. I don't think very few clients will actually use it, but every client who gets this rider, they want it for those what if scenarios. Those fears are put to bed. They should make it at least 3 years and have extra liquidity. With today's suitability, they have extra money in other places. Here addresses the biggest objection we have is access to my money. How soon? How much? When can I get it all? Well, 3 years. So get 10-year pricing or 7-year. Get long-term pricing on your long-term money. But if something happens, you can grab your money after the 3rd year, at least your return of premium, maybe even more. Also with this extra double layer is the minimum account value. Clients like minimum guarantees. Even if it's it's a small chance they'll come into play. They still like it there. You put 100,000 in, it's 110 on the 10-year. So at the end of 10 years, if their account value is not 110,000 or $1 million is not 1,100,000, let's say it's any amount less, at the end of 10 years, they'll get trued up or pulled up to the 110,000 value or the 107,000 value. In actuality, I think due to return of premium, if they're sitting there in year 7, 8, or 9 and they're under that, they're not making 1%, they could have bailed long ago. But that's fine. Here's an extra layer that you can look your client in the eye, show them on the illustration. If we stick with the program, you're guaranteed to make 1%, only with a shot at more. That's the minimum value. They would get the greater of the two. I don't think this is ever really going to come into play, but it doesn't matter. Clients like it. It's an extra layer of safety, an extra net. They're guaranteed 1% with a shot at more. I think it adds to the story as well. And many people may use return of premium, but more often than that, people are going to stick to the program. They just want to know, can I get out and what are the penalties? Here you go, fear put to bed. You have emergency exits and a few other ones as well. So let me show you this in practice a little bit, because you'll notice a couple of things that stand out. At issue, we had a real premium bonus. It's part of the account value, part of the death benefit. And no, you shouldn't surrender the product 1 month later. There's a penalty. You should have done our suitability properly. I wanted to point this out though. 3 years later, this return of premium is available. Your client, if they use it, they're automatically going to get the higher of a real surrender value or their money back. So somebody actually tries to say, give me my return of premium in 3 years. If their account's 126, the penalties are small on these annuities nowadays. We would assess the 3rd year penalty. And if their surrender value is 111, return of premium is 100,000, they might get surprised. Clients wouldn't complain about that. They're either getting their return of premium or a greater value if the surrender value is greater. You can turn that into a benefit. There's a lot of ways to get out of here, either your money back or potentially more. Of course, this client's doing pretty well. Look, in year 6, we're humming Loretta along. We got account value, death benefit. We still have a little surrender penalty in year 6, but we're moving along nicely if they surrendered. At the end of year 10, lesson learned by me, if you're wondering over here, our account value, our bonuses in there, our death benefit. And yeah, when you ask the actuary to give you a value right on the anniversary of year 10, guess what the actuary did? They did exactly what I said. And I got 2 little bullet points if you're wondering down here. The premium bonus is fully vested at the beginning of year 11, year 10. 1 day later, the rest of my bonus fully vest on the full year 10 and 1 day later. So lesson learned, this is really there is no surrender value. The bonus vested. Lesson learned, you ask an actuary a question and they give you a very direct answer. That just kind of shows all the pieces in motion. They can earn money, they have good death benefit, they can bail out with return of premium or more. But hopefully we're looking at something like this. We're humming along, and if the client wants to stick to the program after year 10, they're more than welcome to. They don't have to leave right away if they don't want to move on. Looks like they're doing pretty well. So with that, John, we have a third face. This is a totally different, robust solution. Can you button up, and should we save this for another call, or any commentary on this particular Cascade Rider?
No, I think you are rolling. Let's keep rolling. We can always come back and do a deeper dive later, but let's give them a taste.
We're going to give you a taste. So my apologies for, blasting through it, drinking out of the fire hose. You'll want to circle back to Vision, give them a call. And these are 3 different products, 3 different markets. This is going to appeal to one client. And for those who do some full-blown retirement income planning, well, you're looking at really something that's going to be a standout for you if that's part of your practice, if you're doing the income planning. So our Expanse Rider, clients focus on expanding their income potential. And actually, due to the pricing, and we do think more contracts will stick to the books for the income rider, there's increased rates and caps. So there's a little bit more upside potential, illustrating over 7% on some of the strategies on here. Just a hypothetical illustration, but increased rates and caps across the board. It's performance-driven income. So let's get into some of the nuts and bolts. There's an income-based bonus. And I want to distinctly remind you that Cascade Rider had a 6.5% account bonus, part of the death benefit. That's a premium bonus. This is a income-based bonus to drive more income. So you actually can trigger this income rider in 31 days, and you would have a 10% bonus in there, and you can trigger this immediately right out of the chute if you'd like to, and they get a little bit more pop. Where it really shines for us, and just to be transparent, where I am more competitive amongst our peers is due to this, because it's performance driven. It's really about year 4 or 5 and beyond that this thing kind of rises to the top. So we have a very aggressive 200% crediting rate roll up. That means percentage that leverages the contract's earnings potential. What does that mean? Your 100,000 is 110,000 due to this. You get a 5% return in your index. We get 200, we double that. So it's 10% on top of your 110. I think you get it. It's a performance driven. We're giving double the credits from the index, gets attached to the income base. What that does is drive more income. You can trigger it immediately, but we really look better on joint income. And after, 4 or 5 years of marination, and it goes out 15 years. So 15-year roll up. If you have a client, and I had an agent correct me, even though I say we're more competitive amongst my peers at year 5, an agent said, you guys, I think, are close enough, or I just want my client to have the ability to trigger it. My plan is to trigger income maybe more like 8 years out, but it's great that you can trigger it as soon as the first year for changing needs just right away, or they stick to the plan. But a lot of times plans do change. So anytime you can trigger the income rider if you elected it. But once you get to triggering that income, let's say in 8 years, that's when you can choose individual or spousal. People get married and divorced, things happen, needs change. The spousal is a standout. It's a better deal from an actuarial perspective in my deal. There's a small haircut to the payment, but you're covering 2 lives and sometimes a younger life, or sometimes a younger female life. This is a good deal if you want to look at it. But they also choose level or increasing payout. Ding, ding, hot button for the client. Is inflation a hot button? Would they be interested in looking at increasing payout? I just ran a quote, just an arbitrary number here, but I had a level payout cranking out 132,000 on a specific quote. The increasing payout was 118,000. So when they triggered it, like in this scenario, would you want 132,000 level for the rest of you and maybe your spouse's life? Or would you look at the 118 level, and the illustration shows in 2 and 3 years, it increases and blows past the 130 to a much higher level? I know what I would choose. I'd choose the increasing payout and have the opportunity in just a couple of years for it to be more. But this choice is to be made when they get there. Point here is you're addressing a need. Increasing payout, inflation, when they get there, they can choose level or increasing, and that's a hot button for the client. So on that, once they trigger it, the benefit increases annually by the 100% of the interest rate credited. Again, percentages. That's a good thing, because once they trigger it and a lot of income's coming out, more income may be going out than coming back in the strategies. We got some moving parts. So if our account starts to go down, 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 it's good that getting that 3, 4, 5, 6%. By using percentage, we'll add the percentage to the income base. So it's 200% of the interest credited on the way up to triggering income. Once we pull the trigger, then it goes to 100%. I think that's fairly clear, and that does address inflation. There's a benefit. There's a crediting cap annually. We put a cap because we think, if one of your clients gets a 15% return 1 year, or 25% return once we do have a cap on that, if you will. It increases until the account value hits 0, and it goes, and then it levels off there, or until the account. So you get increases. You'll see on the illustration many years later, once we run out of money, the inflation will level off and just hold at that higher number. Here's the big solution. John, do you want to set us up for this income doubler? You have some good verbiage on kind of orient this or framing this as a solution to keep a client at home. You want to share one of your nice little sales nuggets right now?
You know, when it comes to an income doubler, the big question that we have to ask people is, if given the choice, do you want to stay in the comfort and privacy of your own home where you are comfortable and you've got all these familiar surroundings, or do you want to be institutionalized in a box where you don't get to pick who your neighbor is, you don't get to pick when you get to eat, what you get to eat, and you lose control of your life? Most people want to be able to spend time in the comfort and privacy of their own home. This is a unique product that lets that happen.
Excellent. Tell me about your parents in their later stages. That right there. Oh, they're still alive. Oh, no, I'm concerned. This is what happened. You get them talking about their parents and some of the care that maybe they have or concern. You find out the longevity in the family. Well, this is a solution. And like John just said, where would you rather be? In an institutionalized box? That resonated with me, John. That was really good. No, I like the comfort of my own home. So if they've triggered income already, or they wait until that event happens, losing 2 of 6 ADLs, here we go. It doubles that income payment, whether if it's a single payout we chose or a joint payout, level or increasing. It's a true doubler of that income payment. It works the way we want it to. So a lot of my competitors, if you're not aware, you do have to go into a nursing home or become confined to get more money. There's nothing wrong with that. We have that, but we have the monumental step in the right solutions direction. You just lose 2 out of 6 ADLs. I mean, if you guys have anybody with long-term care background out there, this is your kind of language here. 2 out of 6 ADL loss. We get certification from a doctor, just lost in 2 of 6 ADLs. We send it into policyholder services. We get our double our income, maybe part of an overall solution you put together to help a client stay at home in the comfort of their own home. I like the sound of that. Ability to receive care in their own home. That's the kind of insurance that I'm looking for. Available upon, so it's a 3-year wait. That's big. A lot of my competitors, you have to wait 5 years to get the doubler. So my income can be activated immediately or anytime thereafter. It's a short 3-year wait before the doubler is available. So that's sooner than a lot of that. And I got it in California where I am. So that makes me excited, but I got it in every state. So wherever you are, forget about New York. Sorry, we're never going to have it there. We didn't file it there. Just forget about New York altogether. It's approved everywhere else, including District of Columbia, 49 states, Florida, California. Are you in Massachusetts? Where are you? Wherever you're at, we got it there. Everywhere else. So that is big news, especially for an agent like myself who's in California, and I don't get these bells and whistles. So I'm excited about that. Also, death benefit guarantees. So here's the lump sum. Let me show you a couple of things. After the 3rd year, and let me just tell you, here's the objection. Okay. Payable if income isn't activated. So you put together a robust retirement plan, longevity in the family, a doubler benefit. Your client's young, they're 55. They're going to trigger this maybe in 10 or 15 years. You put together an awesome plan and they could live past 100 years old. But what if an accident or something unfortunate happened to their client? Let's say in year 9, they paid for this rider and they passed away or got hit by a bus in year 9, a year before we were about to trigger income. The objection was, darn, we paid for something we never got to use. It was a good insurance plan, but we never got to use it. Well, here you go. For that scenario or that objection, if we haven't triggered income and we're paying for the rider and something unfortunate happens, we've covered that base. We'll add 120%, so like a 20% bonus, that's big, including any interest paid at death. We'll measure the date of death and apply those gains as well. I experienced that. And when your client gets surprised by $6,000 extra, that means something to me, but we'll attach that to the account value, add 20%. Payable as a lump sum after the 3rd index year. If they trigger income, it goes away. But until they trigger income, we've definitely handled that objection or scenario. Clients will like that guarantee. And I like to orient it as you should live forever. And we have a plan to help pay for that. But if you get hit by a bus, some unfortunate accident, someone's getting paid. Either you're going to, and I like using this one. I think this is one of John's as well. Whether you live too long, you die too soon, or your body quits before you do, we have a solution. Someone's getting paid. What do you mean? Whether you live too long, we trigger income and you live past 130, you're covered. Die too soon, if you die before triggering income, your beneficiaries are going to get more money lump sum. Or if your body quits before you do, that's where that doubler can be a value to keep you at home for more money. So there's a good thing. If you want to write that down, circle back to John Terry. He's got a bunch of these nice little framing nuggets. That one I think I stole. Whether you live too long, die too soon, or your body quits before you do, someone's getting a benefit, or you will get a benefit, either you or your kids. So circle back to him for that. This also has increased the rider to 10% penalty free. If they want to take more systematic withdrawals before triggering income, it's up to 10%. And all this is just a 1% charge for this rider. So base product, all the riders, the two we shared today, Expanse and the liquidity one, the Cascade, there are just 1% charges. We have some ways to pay for that. It's an index annuity. Okay. I want to talk about some new market segments. John, any color on this slide before I talk about inherited IRAs and some exciting things?
No.
All right, let's talk about it. So as I mentioned, Western and Southern's been around, and due to that, they have some new markets. They accept some things that you may have, non-qualified money, maybe you don't have a place for SEP, but we can keep 401ks, coded 401ks with some planned docs, profit sharing pension, non-qualified stretch. Here's a big one, inherited IRA. People who actually pre-Secure Act who have money, they're sitting there and they've already inherited this. It's an inherited IRA. It could be sitting in a brokerage account, just sitting there the last few years. You have a client who has an inherited IRA out of surrender. There's there's not a lot of carriers who can take and issue inherited IRAs anymore, but now you have a spot for that. Inherited Roth IRAs allows for various entities, corporations, trusts. If you work with a broker dealer, let John know. We might be able to get it through the grid. Let me see if I can peel off real quick and just button this up. There's a whole new host. This is my funding acceptance chart. And I have I have 3 carriers, but inherited Roth IRA. I got a yes, no expanse. Designated Roth, backdoor Roth IRA. There's a whole plethora of new markets and things that we can tap into. Here we go. Inherited IRA. Yes, eligible beneficiaries. Can't do the income rider. 401ks. SEP 72, and remember those? My carriers now I can do them again if you have a younger client who's looking to take out, money before 59 and a half, profit sharing, just a bunch of new boxes we're checking off. Money purchase plan, some things I'm not even familiar with, some of these nonprofit 501c3. So you might be able to talk nonprofit, some new market opportunities. So with that, what's our next step? Call Vision Advisors. You can obviously get on the website. If you're not contracted, you got to get contracted and do the product training before you get appointed. Product is live as of August 16th. So give them a call and check on that. And I'd encourage you to do the product training so we can get you appointed and you're ready to sell. It's available in every state, but New York, there's our number if we can be a support as a backup. But I'd say call Vision Advisors, check your legacy contracting. If you want to give us a call to help you on the website to knock out product training, we are live and ready to go with an awesome new product. John, open for questions or back to you, sir?
James, I don't have any questions from anybody in the audience, but I'll pause just a minute. If you've got any questions, those of you on the call, and you want to throw something in the chat, fantastic. If not, one of the things I just want to point out in this particular product is the diversity of this solution. Being able to have a product that can give you accumulation, can give you an opportunity to get your money back if you change your mind, as well as the power of an incredible income rider and the ability to address those uncertainties, because as we're living longer, life has an opportunity to take its toll, and oftentimes we find ourselves outliving our bodies, and all of a sudden we need some help. So here's an amazing tool that we've got that can solve multiple problems with your client. So I'm going to give just another second, see if anybody's got any questions.
Compliance says hello.
Well, I'm glad to hear from compliance. I hope they're doing well. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
If not, James, I want to say thank you for taking some time to share with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that have joined us live or those of you joining us later, you can reach out to us here at Vision Advisors, 1-800-505-8489. Again, 1-800-505-8489. Press 0 at the voice prompt and you'll be immediately connected with one of our business consultants. You can also, if you want to schedule some time to do a deep dive, you can go to our website, visionadvisorsinc.com. Scroll to the bottom of the homepage. All of our consultants are there. You can actually schedule time to connect with us, put time on our calendar, and we can walk through a case you're working on, do an analysis of what you're doing in your business, and again, do a deeper dive on this particular product solution to help you fully understand where this product fits in the marketplace. James, we appreciate the relationship we have with all of you at Legacy. Think this is an incredible product and look forward to an opportunity to help you guys market it and see success. Any final comments before we wind this up, James?
Thank you so much. Likewise, everyone have a blessed day. Thank you, John.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys and gals, for joining us. We appreciate your business. Give us a call, 1-800-505-8489, and we look forward to helping you figure out a way to take your clients on a journey they'll appreciate.